Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Find somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Yes, we got some things we got to talk about, y'all. We got some things we got to get into. This is just an interesting situation, but I felt like talked about this yesterday on my main channel, but then at the same time, I felt compelled to bring this up and talk to you guys about it as a family. In fact, I was trying my damnedest to get a doctor on the show. Yeah, I need a doctor, okay? I was trying to get a doctor on the show with no luck whatsoever for last night, because this was what I was planning on doing last night on last night's show, to bring in an expert, talk about this whole thing. What we're about to talk about, you see the title above, down below, wherever you're watching this show. And with no luck, doctors are not around. It's wild. It's wild. Is there a doctor in the building? You know what I mean? Kind of like one of those things. Is there a doctor in the building? But nope. No doctor in this building, unfortunately. But we're going to talk about it nonetheless. It doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it because I think this is very, very interesting in my personal opinion. Okay, talked about this on the secondary channel, but we're going to talk about it together as a family on this channel today. So do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. Okay? And if you are on those other platforms, make sure you follow me, okay? So I'm asking you, please, to follow me on Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Rumble. Show some love. Follow over there, okay? I'm on Rumble, guys. So go subscribe or follow over there. Please become a follower over there, because there's going to be some new content over there that I'm not going to be able to play or do over here as well. So do what you need to do. Hit that subscribe button here on my main channel here if you're watching on YouTube. Go over to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. I can't urge this enough. I can't emphasize it enough. There's going to be a lot of videos that I've been talking about and covering over there that aren't being covered on the main channel. So please be sure to go check it out. Also, there may be videos that I put out on the second channel that end up becoming discussion pieces for the show, the live shows here. So you need to be subscribed to both. It just takes 2 seconds. Subscribe to the secondary channel, okay? The Pascal Show Clips. Show some love. Become a subscriber on both channels. Make sure both notifications bells are on to set to all, so you know whenever I go live whenever I upload, because it is random. Definitely hit that join button down below. Excuse me. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. That'd be greatly appreciated. Please also go check out my Patreon and my locals, okay? Patreon.com/The Pascal Show and locals.com/The Pascal Show. Go check those out if you want to support even further. Become a patron or a local, okay? And of course, I got my merch, okay? PascalMerch.com. Again, PascalMerch.Kazam. Please and thank you. Be sure to show some support if you can. That'd be greatly appreciated. Our shirts, our hoodies, our jogger sets, and all that stuff are fire. Okay? Custom tie-dye hoodies, t-shirts, etc. Like I said, I'm sure there's something in there that you'll love, your kids will love, okay? Your loved ones will love. All right? But before we get into everything, all right, let me get this first. Carbonized, thank you so much for being one of the first to give some love. I appreciate that. Thank you. A like costs less than a post Diddy stream therapy sesh. Yes, indeed. I will concur on that big time. Okay, takes 2 seconds to show some love, and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and all that. Okay, guys. Whoo! Woo! Okay, so here it is. I talked about this on my secondary channel. All right, this whole situation. This is wild in my personal opinion. And if this is true, this will be mind blowing. First off, though, I do want to say this too. I am keeping an eye out on the hurricane. All right, Hurricane Milton. We still haven't stopped covering that, but right now it's a lot of like, we're getting ready for the storm. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, we're getting ready. And of course, I still want to remind everybody before we jump into everything and talk about how mind blowing this stuff is and everything. Just a quick thing, okay? Your boy Pascal loves you guys. If you are in that area and you have not left yet and you are able to leave, please leave right now. You could still play if you got those smartphones, because I know some of y'all still have your iPhone 4s, okay? Now, if you're still able to have access, you can still watch the show. But whilst you are watching the show, all I ask for you to do is pack up your ish and respectfully kick rocks. This is only for your own safety. They're literally saying that this is going to be a this could change the western side of Florida. That's what they're predicting. That's what they're saying. It's that bad, guys. I know we're here to talk about Diddy, but this is also another monster that we need to talk about that people can get away from if they're physically able to do so. So I just have to say, please, guys, for the love of everything that is holy, pack up your stuff and go. Call a friend, call the ex that you haven't talked to in a while. It don't matter as long as you are away from this absolute catastrophic situation that is looming towards the western coast of Florida. That's all I ask, because I love you and I want you guys safe. So please do that. Don't be like this Lieutenant Dan guy. Have you heard about this Lieutenant Dan? Well, Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs, right? There's a guy that he names himself Lieutenant Dan, okay? He is living on his boat, and he even himself has said, I'm not leaving. I'm going to sit through this whole storm. I'm telling you right now, please don't be that guy. If you have a choice, please don't be that guy. No, he calls himself Lieutenant Dan. And apparently he has one leg, okay? I'm serious. And he calls himself Lieutenant Dan, okay? Well, Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs. So he is going to go sit through the entire hurricane on his boat. This is not him standing in some brick and mortar, okay? No. Oh, no. No, he's going to be in the ocean, in his boat. I'm not kidding. And he calls himself Lieutenant Dan. So let me just say this one more time. Please don't be that guy. If you can, please go. Okay? I'm done. I mean, of course, we're going to be covering this later on. I'm keeping an eye on the storm, or, keeping an eye on this hurricane. It went up to a Category 5. It was at a 4 yesterday, went up to a Category 5 again. Apparently, they were saying winds as fast as 200 miles an hour. Yo, okay? But then it dropped back down to a Category 4. So I'm hoping it stays there or drops even lower. Still, no matter what, Category 4 is terrible. Okay, we don't want that. We want it back to like a tropical storm. We just want it to drop all the way down, right? We want it to dissipate before it even hits the coast. But this is what they're saying right now. Okay, just so you guys know, I'm done for now. We're keeping an eye on it. All right, we're keeping an eye on this situation, but I'm praying for everyone that is still in the path of this monster, because it is a monster and it's coming. So if you can, if you have anything to do with your whereabouts, like if you have any control about how you can get the hell out of there, get the hell out of there. Play this show. Listen to me as you pack up and leave. as long as you're on the road and getting the F out of Dodge. Okay? Please and thank you. So let's get into this. Speaking of another monster, there's been some new information. This was kind of dropped like 2 days ago, but of course, I wanted to give you guys this update and talk to you guys about this together as a family because I did this as a pop-up video yesterday morning. I had plans to do something last night with a physician that fell through. So I said, you know what? I'm still going to do this. We're still going to talk about it. I may not be an expert. Okay. But I've watched plenty of ER in the past. I have not. General Hospital. I have not either. I just know people that know things about medicine. How's that? So let's get into this. Diddy is being alleged of spiking baby oil. I'm not kidding. Or they say, in the New York Post, lubricants. But he's being alleged of mixing lubricants with a specific type of substance, an R type of substance that basically debilitates. It allegedly debilitates individuals when they get in contact of this stuff. Now, I've heard stories and things of people being able to like take dust and in their face and suddenly, because you've inhaled it in some sort of way, you suddenly fall, you pass out or something bad happens to you, right? But this is the first time I've ever heard someone actually being alleged of using baby oil, okay, as a way to get a specific type of substance in the system of certain people. Now, again, before we get into everything, I said even this on the second channel. I said, well, that would make more sense. The reason why he has thousands of bottles of lubricant and baby oil at his leisure, at his fingertips. Think about it. Why would he have thousands of 1,000 bottles of baby oil? Think about it. Why would he? What's the purpose of that? Because he just likes when his body's all glistening and stuff all day long. What does he bathe in this mother loving ish? What's the reason why he has thousands of bottles of baby oil? I get it if he's having a lot of freak off parties and there's a lot of bodies in there. And then the way he's shooting things, I'm sure the light reflects off the booty just nice with that baby oil. But at the same time, it does make you wonder, do you really need that much baby oil for a freak off? One could be enough. Maybe a bottle or two. Let's be real. Think about it. When was the last time you used baby oil? Think about it. When was the last time you used baby oil? Was it recent? And how often do you use it? And why would you absolutely need more than just one bottle per household? Let's just say one bottle for every 6 months. Think about it for a second. Are we really out here just squeezing baby oil all over our bodies? Why would he need 1,000 bottles of baby oil and other lubricants? Don't worry, I'll wait. Think about it. Think about it, baby. And you let me know. Because the last time I saw baby oil, okay, was a very, very long time ago. And it was one of those small bottles. It was a small bottle. And honestly, I'm sitting there going like, hey, I don't need this. This is way too slippery for me. And I don't mean it like that. I meant it like, you're putting it on your body. You're like, it's too much, right? So who runs around in dire need of baby oil? 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Think about it. So it kind of does, the math kind of maths a little bit if you are using it in this type of diabolical type of way. Now you could be just doing it just because you like to, you know, somebody had to say slip, slide, and glide. Okay, Tabula. Okay. But at the same time, though, she on another level right there. Slip, slide, and glide. Now, here's the thing, though. I get that. You know, in the passions of the hibbity dibbity, when you're lost in F, right? I get it. You know? But do you really need 1,000 bottles of that ish? Did he suddenly say, hey, you know what? It doesn't expire. It lasts forever. So I wonder, when was the purchase of the 1,000 bottles of baby oil? Think about it. Because does it go bad? Is there an expiration date on it? Has it just been sitting there, locked up in a closet for years, untouched? Because baby oil, a little bit goes a very long way. Okay? Slip, slide, and glide. So they're saying the victim was doused with this particular baby oil. And she claims it was spiked. Okay? Easier for them to actually attack her. All right? So let's take a look at this article. And I mean, this is quite the claim. This is quite the allegation. All right? But again, 1,000 bottles of baby oil, all of them laced with something, let's just say. What made him suddenly go, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to put it in the baby oil. Yeah. And all I got to do is spray it on people and everything's good. They won't know. In fact, I don't need them to drink anything anymore. Just spray them with this baby oil. And got them. Take that. Like explain that. That's scary if this is true. So let's get into this. Crazy. And we are going to look at the interview, of course, too. So we can watch that as a family as well. So Sean Diddy Combs doused a woman with lubricant that was mixed with a rohypnol. Okay. Rohypnol. All right. Before he viciously attacked her alongside his bodyguard and allegedly a third friend, the accuser's attorney claimed. Now, of course, we're going to hear all of this in the video. And of course, this is the lawyer, Ariel Mitchell Kid, okay, representing the 13th victim or the 13th accuser that stepped out and said that Diddy did this to her. Okay. So the unnamed victim was allegedly forced to remove her clothing. Then Combs threatened her with a kniff, because we can't even say that word either. So the music mogul then supposedly squirted the woman all over her body with some type of lubricant or oil, which she noticed when she noticed herself becoming more and more limp. This is what the lawyer said in this interview. Of course, this is Ariel. We already know this is the diddler, but this is Ariel Mitchell Kid. Okay. And she's been on News Nation. I mean, it's almost every other day she's been on News Nation, on Banfield's show, dropping some sort of bombshell, some sort of shocking detail, whether it is about a tape depicting some sort of celebrity in one of these freak-offs, to more details revolving around her accuser that she's representing, the victim that she's representing. So it's very, very interesting. Okay. So in order to get that to topically take into somebody's body, you need a conduit, which is typically oil. And if you really think about it, yeah, oil seeps into the skin fairly quickly, right? It's very hard to get that stuff off once you get it on your body. Okay. Notice like ever you're cooking at home and you spray down, like you're using olive oil, right? And that olive oil gets on your hands. It's very hard to get that stuff off unless you're getting soap and scrubbing that stuff off of you, right? Oil is no joke. So now you got baby oil getting sprayed on you. Okay. This can be very difficult to do, right? To get off of you, right? So it seems to me that there were some types of substances mixed into the oil, which is why he was dousing her in that oil prior, not only to make it easier to attack her, but that was what was lowering her defenses. Now, of course, this is what the lawyer is saying. And again, I keep wondering, did this lawyer speak to a medical expert? Did she get this? Did she ever get any of the baby oil itself and ran a test on it? Did she run a test? Did the victim get drug test ran on her too, just to see if there was anything in her system, right? To basically back these claims, right? So after he doused her with the mysterious liquid, Combs allegedly AR'd this woman, okay, as did his bodyguard and a third person. And of course, I am very, very interested to see what is going on here. And of course, they say that the lawyer, okay, Ariel Kid, says she plans on filing this complaint on behalf of her client later this week. So we should be hearing something about that here very, very soon. Okay. That should be happening. Shoot, I hope, tomorrow or maybe Thursday. Shoot, maybe Friday. But they say it's going to happen. But that's what's interesting. This is not any dig at the client or the lawyer, but it's interesting that they've been out talking about this, saying things to the public, but we have not seen any documents, no legal documents so far filed. I'm not sitting here saying that the lawyer's not telling the truth. I'm not saying that at all. But it is interesting that we're seeing things a little bit backwards with this situation. Do you get what I'm saying? And, instead of us seeing the paperwork, we're seeing the opposite. We're seeing the client speaking out through her lawyer and making, and it's public, but us not seeing any of the paperwork. Honestly, the same thing with Tony Busby too, with 120 clients. But then in that situation, I get it, because it's 120 clients, 120 alleged victims stepping forward and speaking out. So instantly it does make you wonder, like that one, that's a lot of paperwork, right? That's a lot of legal documents, and it's monumental. So I see a press conference as soon as you got as much information as you can. But this particular victim, we haven't heard or seen any of the reports, seen any of the documents yet, which I think is very interesting. And I'm wondering why. Why haven't they done that first and then come out to the public and say what they need to say, right? But I am nonetheless very interested to see what happens. And I'm very interested to see what kind of details are being said in this lawsuit that's allegedly coming out finally this week, which I'm very happy about as well, because, I want the details. I think we all want that. So they say the details are graphic, and the complaint lays out all of the details. She was finally able to get away after a gruesome attack. This is what the lawyer said on News Nation. It was not immediately clear if the client was discussing, if the client, the lawyer, Mitchell Kid, was discussing, was the same client who previously said she was lured to Combs' home and, of course, attacked in 2018. That victim, who is also unnamed, filed a police report after that incident. Now, that's the thing I'm confused about as well, because I heard that it was like it wasn't that she was lured into the home in 2018, and that this situation happened at a friend's home. And this is the things that we've been hearing. So I am actually kind of curious. Like I said, I'm interested to hear if this is her representing two clients, or if this is the one and the same, that maybe she was attacked in 2018 and then, of course, attacked again in a friend's home. I am kind of curious about that. Again, so that we get the timelines and the facts all straight, right? But this is very interesting nonetheless. Okay. But of course, we already know that Combs is behind bars. And the thing that's very interesting about right now is that last night, Diddy dropped an appeal for bail again. He dropped another appeal for bail again. So I will be breaking that down on a live, but I did do a quick summary of it on the second channel, the Pascal Show clips. It should be premiering or airing in about a few minutes from now. So I highly, highly recommend you guys going and checking that out after this show. And, of course, this afternoon, I'll be going through the legal documents, the full 31 pages, so we can break it down and see what he's saying. But he is trying to make claims he's doubling down on the fact that, me and Cassie were in a toxic relationship. And he's kind of attacking the accuser, attacking the victim, and making it seem like she's the villain and he's not. It's very, very interesting. So like I said, we are going to be looking at that this afternoon, because I really have some opinions on that for sure. 31 pages or so. So we are going to be breaking that down and taking a look at that for sure. But we got to get into this video. It's and yes, I agree, Nicole B. Okay, he is desperate. Okay, yes, he is. Without a shadow of a doubt. Come on now. I mean, it goes without question what's going on and how he's locked up. He wants to be set free like Amistad. Okay, give us a free. He wants to be set free really, really badly, but I don't think it's going to happen. And allegedly, he's going to be making a court appearance on Thursday. Hopefully, we're going to find out here whether he walks or not, right? But I really don't think it's in the cards, solely because of the amount of people that are stepping forward and claiming unthinkable claims. All these people that were scared to step forward, finally, because the man is locked up, they're all suddenly stepping forward. Again, we have to err on the side of we need the proof. We need to find evidence. We need to make sure that it is, every single person that's stepping forward is actually telling the truth 100%. Absolutely. We got to make sure that's real. But at the same time, all potential victims, all the victims that have stepped forward that were brave enough to say that they were, attacked at the hands of the diddler, all those people will run away, because he's going to go out. As soon as he gets out, he's going to get his minions to go and intimidate these witnesses, intimidate these victims, and all that. And then let's not forget, he is a flight risk, guys. He is a flight risk. I don't care if he sold his private jet. He got friends with other jets. He can easily just go, boom, hey, let me just throw you some bread. Put me on this plane. I have a yoga session with Russell Simmons, and when the sun comes up, I need to be there by this time. Come on, for a fact you're going to jump in that plane and he's going to fly away. He don't want to stay. He's going to disappear. So he's 110% a flight risk. So for the judge to even say, okay, I trust you, you can go, that's not enough. But like I said, his lawyers are trying to move the goalpost as best as they can. They're doing everything they can to get this man bail, because they think that he was arrested unjustly. They think that he was indicted and obtained in the way that he was unjustly. They think that he should have gotten been walked in, did his hearing, was given bail, and was able to walk right back out. That's what they believe, because they say that this man is not an epi. He is not a GM, if you get what I'm saying. All right. He is not some monster like the others that I'm just mentioning right now. That's ridiculous in my personal opinion. This man is a monster. This man's very dangerous. And from what we understand, he's even powerful and has a lot of influence while he is behind bars right now. So imagine what he'll be like if he's fighting for his freedom when they let him out. He's going to do everything in the most like the nastiest, snakiest way he can. He's going to play dirty, because that's how he did his business for decades, playing dirty. Let's be real. So let us get into this video. Again, I think this is very interesting. Okay, this interview is very, very wild. And what's being dropped here, again, it's not only that it's baby oil, it's also a kniff. He apparently threatened her with some sort of weapon, a pokey. Okay, not very good. Doused her with this oil. She suddenly became limp, couldn't move. And then these three men were able to do what they did. They caused crimes. Okay, egregious, deplorable, disgusting crimes. Again, if this is true, don't know. I want to see the paper. I want to see the documents, dagnabbit. Like I said, this lawyer's been on show after show after show, which is fine. But at the same time, I'm like, I want to see the documents so we could talk about this. All the details. And then, of course, she's also talking about the tapes. And some people are looking at that and going, is she doing this? Is this extortion? Is she doing this to try to up the ante on the price of the video so that they can make it so that her client, if she's not really representing the client, but some people are looking at this situation in a specific angle now. And they're going, hey, every time that she goes on to a show and saying, yeah, the major news networks are out here shopping it around, and there's a bidding war and all that. Doesn't that raise the price for the client or for the celebrity that's trying to get it off the streets? Some people are saying that it's extortion. I don't know about all that. I do know that it is very interesting, and I just want to see paperwork. I think we all just want to see documents at this point. So let's see what she says. And again, there's no specific breakdown of whether this is the 13th accuser or maybe she's representing a 14th and 15th accuser. God only knows. But let's get into this.
So, Ariel, that you've got this client, you plan to file the suit this week. There hasn't been a lot of detail about it, but I think you can reveal a little more tonight about exactly what your client says Diddy did to her. Tell us a little more if you can, even though the suit's not officially been filed.
Yes, I'll have the suit filed sometime this week, probably in the next couple of days. It's just in editing right now, just to get the final touches on it, just to make sure we haven't missed any causes of action. I think as it stands right now, we're at 19 causes of actions, from sexual assault, sexual battery, of course, RICO charges, and sex trafficking. But essentially, my client was raped by Mr. Combs, his bodyguard, and a friend who invited my client to his home to set up this whole situation. The details are graphic in nature, and the complaint lays out all of the details in the graphic, just deplorable way my client was victimized in that day, or in that night rather, and her harrowing escape and how she was able to finally get away and manage to get to safety after the gruesome attack.
Now, this sounds like the same situation. To me, this sounds like the same woman or the same victim, just so you know, okay? To me, it sounds like that's the situation, but I could have sworn in one of her many interviews and many conversations, she said something about this attack happening at a friend's home and not Diddy's. But I mean, I could be wrong. Like I said, I've listened to so many interviews and so many podcasts and so many shows. A lot of people saying a lot of different things. So maybe I got another timeline linked into this one as well, and that's possible too. But it is interesting. But it does sound like this is the same woman. Okay, the same victim.
Yeah, and I know that the details are graphic, and I want to be careful. But can you talk a little bit about the baby oil? Because I think people just think it's baby oil, but you are claiming that there may be something else in that, correct?
Yes.
I'm gonna
So
let her say
in
that.
the suit, there is a part where Mr. Combs is threatening her with a knife and makes her take off her clothes. And then he takes what she believes is some type of liquid substance out of a bag, out of a fanny pack to be specific. And he squirts it at her. And she originally thought it was like acid or something. But then she realized that it was some type of lubricant or oil. She actually didn't specify even baby oil. She just said he just started squirting it at her, squirting it all over her body. And then that's when, after she was covered in this oil, that's when the attack began with Mr. Combs and then the friend. And then in between the two of them, she was squirted some more with this oil. And then the bodyguard then attacked her and raped her as well.
Okay, so of course, again, yeah. She definitely said this came out of a fanny pack, and in this situation, how fitting. But still, okay. She's saying that this oil was being sprayed or squirted and all that, and a part of me keeps on wondering, like, could there have been THC of some sort? That's kind of what I keep thinking in my head too, that maybe it's not just maybe it wasn't that, maybe it's a THC infused type of oil, right? Because people use that stuff for when it comes to like sore muscles, so on and so forth. I mean, it could be a stretch, but I am kind of curious about, like, okay, could it be THC? Could there be something like that involved in this situation? You know what I mean? And not like a CBD, not CBD, but more like a THC type of oil, because shoot, have anybody who's out here that's ever taken an edible, I know that that stuff could be dangerous. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It just kind of makes you wonder about that. But that, like I said, that could be a stretch, but I am kind of curious about that. Okay, but let's continue.
But she said over the course of this, her body got more and more limp, and she couldn't figure out essentially what was causing it, because it wasn't as if she was forced any drug. She said she had a cup of water that she took a sip of, and she knew immediately it wasn't just water, but she only took a sip.
Let me just say this really quick. Sorry for pausing it so damn much, but it is a short video. I want to make this abundantly clear. Could she have taken a sip of that water and it was a wrap? She says she took a sip of this cup of water, realized it wasn't water. Instantly I go, what was it? Did she realize it was just straight alcohol? Was it straight vodka? Did it taste funny, like there was something in it, like it's supposed to be water, but it's not water because something got slipped in there? Because instantly I'm thinking, maybe she took that sip and it was one and done. One sip and it was a wrap. Everything started to get foggy. Everything started to get weird. Her body started to feel funny. She couldn't move, so on and so forth. So what if she took that drink and that's what got in her system, and the baby oil is just regular baby oil? I'm just asking. Like I said, we're just trying to do the math and understand that. This is the reason why I'm like, did they do some sort of test on her? Did they run tests? Does she have proof of tests being ran after she went to the police to let them know to file this report? Remember, this is the same victim that was trying to get the paperwork from police, the police reports, and the police are saying you need a subpoena to get the police records, which is illegal, by the way, because that is that victim's police report. And she has every right to have her hands on her own police report, which is wild, right? So it does make you wonder, was there any type of testing done when she went in there to to file this police report or not? Like I said, I got so many questions and I'm wondering, man, I can't wait for these documents to come out. Okay. When they finally file this lawsuit, I'm about to eat that up like it is dinner time, because I cannot wait to see what is being said there and what is potentially being hidden from this victim, right? It's wild, because if there was a test done, then that would explain everything to us. But again, like I said, look at the timeline. She had a drink. She had a water. Allegedly, it was just a water. She said it didn't taste like water. So what was that drink tasting like? Did it taste funny because it was just his latest Ciroc? Or was it something laced? Okay? Real talk. All right? But let's continue, shall we?
And she felt that whatever the liquid was being squirted on her had something in it which essentially debilitated her and her faculties.
That's a huge big deal to me. She took a drink, tasted funny, then suddenly spraying her with some baby oil. Then she started feeling funny, right? So there's a possibility that that is what happened here. Just saying, okay? But let's continue.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. I mean, because in the complaint, the Fed's complaint, they talk about all of those bottles of body oil. So we knew there was a lot of lubricant, but do you have any idea what may have been in it? Is there something that could have been in it that would have made it so she couldn't move?
So I've done some internal research after I had my intake with my client, and it seems that oil in general is used as a conduit for specific drugs, like, for instance, GHB. So in order to get that to topically take into somebody's body, you need a conduit, which is typically oil. So it seems to me that there were some types of drugs mixed into the oil, which is why he was dousing her in that oil prior, not only to make it easier to assault her, but that was what was lowering her defenses.
Baby oil was the one thing that was lowering her defenses. Now, here's the thing. There could be a possibility that it is both. It could be a possibility that she took a sip. Maybe to him, he was like, damn, she's not drinking enough. So then he pulls out the baby oil, sprays her with this oil, let's just say, this oil. And then suddenly, that stuff is laced, making sure that it gets in her system, and then the rest is a wrap, right? Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. But like I said, the timeline seems to tell me that maybe there was something in that water. And then she started to feel the effects of what she sipped on. And then, I don't know. Like I said, Billy Box on YouTube just said a sip is nothing. But what if it is? What if it is something? Anything's possible. Maybe it was highly potent. You never know. Maybe one sip is all she needed. Or it was really in the oil. Or maybe it was a combination of both. She took a sip, tasted funny. She didn't want to drink anymore. He saw that, didn't make a big fuss about it. So he just grabbed the baby oil that was infused with God knows what, squirted her with this baby oil, and then it got into her system even more, jacking her up, making her not be able to move. And then the crimes happened. That's a possibility too. Okay. All things could be possible in this situation. But again, I guess I ask you guys, is it a far-fetched idea that he would actually use baby oil to take his victims down in this way? I ask you guys that question. Let me know. Comment in the comment section.
Gosh, it's so disturbing. 120 people now we hear are going to be filing lawsuits. We've heard that from another attorney. Do you know yet, are there similarities with some of these other stories, especially in terms of this oil component?
Well, unfortunately, we haven't seen any or heard anything about any of the alleged 120 victims that another attorney has. In fact, I think recently today he came out and started saying some of these celebrities the other celebrities he planned to name were settling the cases, which I thought was odd because I do settlements all the time. And part of the settlement is that you don't discuss the settlement. You know, part of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. So unfortunately, I don't know how many of these cases, the 120 cases that lawyer has, will ever see the light of day. I always was skeptical about the number and the types of claims that were being advanced. But I haven't personally,
Yeah.
I haven't seen any other cases advanced that made similar allegations other than the federal government's case.
Now, again, uh, I think that, well, I think no matter what this situation and what the lawyer is saying out here for everyone to say, I mean, I guess, some people could say the same thing about this lawyer too. Like, the lawsuit hasn't been filed, but you are on the news quite a bit, dropping serious bombshell after serious bombshell after serious bombshell. So I guess that's the only like pushback I see. But I can also see that maybe this lawyer is, lawyer Busby, Tony Busby is saying those things to, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, maybe put shame on those particular people that are settling outside of court. That could be it too, or it could be a way of him saying like, hey guys, if you want to settle, other people are settling, just so you know. I mean, that's a possibility too. I don't know. Okay. Um, it's just, to me, just seems a bit crazy. Okay. With all of this that has transpired, all of this that is been going down. And I'm saying for all the lawyers that have been stepping forward and talking about everything, putting these things out and all that, right? I feel like a lot of these things should be done with some sort of discretion, and that it shouldn't be out here like that. It should be held until it is time to present. That's just what I think. But then again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. They're going to do how they're going to do, and how they're going to do it is up to them, right? But it's just interesting. You know what I mean? War just said, yes, that's what I think. He's settling civil cases while he can. Yeah, I think that's what it is too. I think like it's almost like he puts that out there to let those celebrities know, like, hey, you can settle. Like that's up to, if you want to settle, we're giving you that option. If you don't want to settle and you want to fight this out, then by all means. But I feel like him going on TMZ and saying those things is almost like he's advertising to those other ones that are pacing back and forth, okay, chain smoking cigarettes, biting their nails, going, oh my God, what am I going to do? I was at those parties, they now see that article or now see that video and say, oh, wait a second. Wait, I could settle. Maybe I will. And at the end of the day, that's that's quick. A settlement can be quickly done, can quickly be executed, right? And then it's less time for the lawyers. So then the lawyers get their payments too. They get their money. Whatever that client gets, they get too, right? When the client gets paid, the lawyer gets paid as well. I mean, if you really think about it. So, it is interesting that he has or would say what he has said out here for everyone to see, or for everyone to hear and actually see too. It is very interesting nonetheless. But what say you guys on this video? Do you think that do you think that it's baby oil, that he's using laced baby oil? Okay. Or no? What are your thoughts on that? Right? And before I go into the super chats, Sarah's toy chest. Pascal, are you going to do a video on the Garth Brooks lawsuit? So I did the breaking news one, but I haven't circled back and talked about the latest updates as of late. Hopefully I will. It's just really about time and being able to squeeze everything in on a daily basis, because the news be newsing out here, and of course there's a lot of things going crazy with this Diddy stuff. But I'm going to see what I can do, because I know that there's been some updates recently in regards to his whole thing, and man, that's a crazy situation in itself, to be really honest. S Dubs, Rohip, yeah, the R drug, okay, cannot be absorbed through the skin. It cannot be absorbed through the skin. That's interesting. But maybe there's something else that he was using. Let's not forget there was Trank. Ain't that what it was called? Yeah, Trank. This horse tranquilizer, right? Maybe that's something that can be absorbed through the skin. You see what I'm saying? But yes, definitely, S-Dubs, thank you so much for that info. And definitely do not forget to hit that like button down below, guys. That would be greatly appreciated. Crush it. That'd be amazing. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. All right, we're almost at 150,000 on this main channel, which is amazing. So please don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button down below, and let's continue talking, and let's get into these super chats and these new members like Suzanne. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. And of course, Tipsy, thank you so much for gifting one membership. And Tipsy just gave whoever just became a new member, welcome to the family. Tipsy just gave you some positive energy. All I ask for you to do is to pay it forward, okay? Do something simple. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, all right? Open the door for somebody, call a loved one, whatever it may be, okay? Just do something positive for the people, for someone around you. Pay it forward, and hopefully it'll continue further on. Jasmine, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Kwame, thank you so much. The feds would charge Diddy in March for the lace. If that is the case, I would love to see that, right? Like and I'm also wondering if they know. Here's the other thing too, and I forgot to ask this earlier. They found 1,000 bottles of lube and baby oil, right? Have they tested the baby oil? Have they even cracked one of those open and just done a quick test just to see if there's anything in the lube or in the oil? That's something to think about too. Kimberly Japan, what up? Thank you so much for the love. Sorry, off topic, but just sending in love for those Halloween vibes behind Pascal. Thank you. Prayers for all in Florida. We've had so many tragedies over here with from the tsunamis and floods. Stay safe. Yes. Thank you so much for saying that. And I agree. 100%. And I'm hoping you're staying safe out there too, because I know that it's, there's a lot going on all over the world right now, and it's been absolutely crazy. Bethany, thank you so much for this super sticker. I do appreciate that so very much. But again, I mean, I keep wondering if this claim is true, and this is out here now. If they haven't done it yet, will this inspire law enforcement to do their due diligence, crack open one of those bottles, okay, and run a quick test? Or run a quick test on all of them just to see if any of them have any type of thing that could make somebody, that can debilitate a human being. Takes 2 seconds. I mean, it doesn't take 2 seconds, but you know what I mean. They're already investigating everything else. You might as well just run the mug. Just see. Crack one open. Do a quick test. Is there something in there or not? Something to think about. Okay. Looking at some of your comments, though. Introspect. Oil is simply the base carrier solution for a mixture of absorbable substances. Okay. He even spiked the vodka. Real question is, who was his chemist? That's a damn good question. That's a damn good question. In fact, actually, let me keep this back up because I remember there's a story that I heard about Diddy. Again, I don't remember where this was exactly or who said this, but there was a story about Diddy and how he was really, really concerned about the liquor that he was drinking at a specific music video shoot that he was at. Like he was very hell bent on making sure no one touched his bottle, no one touched his drinks. That when he went and poured his own stuff, or when he went whenever he wanted a cocktail, he would pour his own drinks. This was during a music video shoot. Okay. This was during a music video shoot, guys. Now, of course, that's a story that I heard. Okay. Whilst he was on a music video set, they were having some drinks, they're having a good old time. And he literally was with somebody telling them to make sure no one touched his ish. And I keep wondering why. Now that we hear about these spiked things, spiked baby oil, spiked drinks, so on and so forth, now I keep wondering, is there a reason why? If that story is true, is there a reason why he was so hell-bent on making sure that even the ice cubes he was drinking out of were under his own surveillance? I'm not kidding. It was under his own surveillance, guys. And this is allegedly what was being said about him on a set. So it does make you wonder, wow, did he not want to drink the wrong bottle? You know what I mean? And that bottle be, filled with something, you know what I mean? That was spiked. Again, it just makes you wonder what the heck is going on here, right? But yeah, his own ice cubes. I'm not kidding. So it does make you wonder about, like, he didn't want to find himself knocked out because he drank some of his own ish. Okay. His own concoction. Okay. That's pretty crazy. Rianne, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Woo! Thank you. Thank you kindly. And Kimberly, thank you so much for gifting 1 membership. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I appreciate that. Okay. Yes. Pay it forward. Do something positive, all y'all. You just got a free membership. Okay. And that's greatly, greatly appreciated. All right. That's interesting, though. On a set music video shoot, he was very, very concerned, hyper focused about no. That's my bottle. No one touches that bottle. To the point where even the ice cubes that he was putting into his own drinks, he had surveillance over what ice cubes he was drinking with, and drinking in his cocktails. That's crazy. Kwame, thank you again. A lot of speculations, yet no evidence. Feds have lab. You know what? You're right on that. That's what I mean by, like, if this is a situation, y'all, okay, Kwame is not wrong. Feds, if they're watching this show, if they're watching the many, many shows, if they're reading the articles that are out here talking about this substance-infused baby oil, do your due diligence so that we can put this possible rumor to bed, or speculation theory to bed. But I don't blame. If this victim is truly a victim, okay, of course, we have to err on the side of that now, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. If this victim is actually telling the truth 100%, I'm hoping this is inspiring police, feds, to do what they need to do to find out the truth. Because they could have a mountain of evidence right in front of them. All those baby oils. Okay? All those bottles of baby oil. They just need to run them and call it a day, right? That's all they need to do. That's all they need to do, okay? And Mimi Misty, you are not wrong. This is disgusting, okay? It's gross and disgusting as hell. But it's unfortunate because, you know what it is? It's disgusting, but if it's true, then it's wonderful. Why? Because this buries Diddy even deeper in under that damn prison. Real talk. And yes, it's disgusting the fact that if he did do something like this, that he would be able to get away with doing something like this for so long. But at the same time, though, if they find out, oh my Lord, that's the reason why he has thousands of bottles of baby oil, it's because all of it's laced, and they're able to prove that by running some simple, quick tests. Yo, it's a wrap for him, son. It's even more a wrap for him than ever before. That sounds like a Trump line. More rap for him than ever before. Drill, baby, drill, drill. But anyway, pretty crazy, right? Pretty crazy. And of course, we still got a whole lot more that we're going to be talking about today, this afternoon, in a couple hours. Of course, I'm keeping an eye on this whole hurricane that's churning towards Florida right now as we speak. And of course, I may be on late night with you guys watching as it hits landfall. We will see. But I will be back on in a couple hours to go through the paperwork on his latest appeal. So please be back on with me in about 2 hours. I'll be back on to go through the legal documents. Okay. So guys, that is the show. I appreciate you guys for being here. It really means a lot, as I always say. Okay. If you guys can do me a solid though, before we head on out of here, hit that like button down below. I'll be back on, like I said, in a couple hours to talk legals, go through some paperwork, and hear the BS and his excuses on why he should be set free. All right? So hit that like button down below, crush it. I also have a new video that just dropped, which is kind of like a summary of the documents of his appeal, okay, his bail appeal, on my second channel. It's up right now. It's been up for about 35 minutes. So go and check it out. It's on the Pascal Show clips. Please be sure to go over there, check it out, consume it with your eyeballs, and then, of course, hit that like button, subscribe over there, okay? But, of course, hit that like button down below. If you're watching on other platforms, make sure you hit that reaction button. Hit that follow button if you're watching on those platforms as well. Follow me on Rumble. That'd be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe here on my main channel if you're watching on YouTube. Don't forget, like I said, go to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Go show some love. If you want to support the channel, hit that join button down below. Become a member, okay? And, of course, check out patreon.com/The Pascal Show and locals.com/The Pascal Show. Show some love. Check it out. Become a supporter. And, of course, check out pascalmerch.com. Got some really great stuff over there, guys. But I'm going to see you guys in a couple hours. Few short hours, we'll be back at it again to talk about the craziness that is the wild and crazy train that is the Diddy case. It's been absolutely crazy, and more is coming. Trust and believe. All right, guys. But anyway, it's time to get going. Much love to you guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. I'll see you guys in a couple hours. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.